Spanish ruled Texas for 300 years and left an indelible mark. The missions, longhorn cattle, our very culture owes a great deal to the Spanish. And that's not to mention the language, which still designates many of our rivers, counties, and towns, even if we do hack it to pieces. Helotes!
What's with the corn?
You'll see. This episode was made for y'all with the help of our awesome partners. Check the caption for more info. About 15 miles northwest of downtown San Antonio, you'll find Helotes, a hill country hideaway hidden in plain sight. It's cool to find such a small town existing right on the fringes of San Antonio. I mean, I can almost see the Alamo. But the name goes back to the 1700s when the Spanish named this area Helote. Yep, corn cob. Perhaps because the Apaches grew this New World delicacy right here in the creek bed. Perhaps. But we'll soon see this town is as much myth as it is legend. There is lots to explore, but first things first, and that's coffee. Served hot and fresh from this old stone boarding house now occupied by Texas Grounds Coffee. One step inside and you can smell the liberty. Served up with Texas pride and a heaping helping of military support. They pour all of that into the coffee, then pour the coffee into our bellies. Here are co-owners Jen and Phil. I need a cup of coffee.
Well, fantastic, you came to the right place.
What would you recommend?
I'm thinking a latte.
I like a latte.
Well, you have to have the famous cream puff to go with that latte.
Oh my gosh, I knew it was Texas
Yes.
roasted coffee. Texas-sized cream puffs too.
That's exactly right. That'll change your life right there.
Beyond coffee, Texas Grounds makes all their own pastries and sweets, making it the only place I know where you can get a coffee, a cream puff, and ammo in the same breakfast. I got napkins. Stand by for cream puffiness.
Oh, snap.
Nice.
That's really good.
Thank you.
Homemade Bavarian cream in there.
Yes.
Oh man. So this is the most Texas coffee on the planet, isn't it?
Oh,
That's
absolutely.
exactly
right.
I'm proud of it.
We're actually neighbors. We live across the street from each other.
Okay.
Phil and I decided across a cream puff that we were going to start this business.
So we had a dream to connect every Texan with a cup of Texas Grounds coffee.
Oh, I love that. If there's anything that brings us together more than the Lone Star flag, it's probably coffee.
That's exactly right.
Every cup they serve is roasted in-house, with a portion going back to those who've served us.
And that's so important to me. I was active duty Air Force before, so
Thank you for serving.
thank you so much.
So I imagine you'll have a lot of veterans come in here. And,
We
you
do,
know,
we do. Yeah, they love the DD-214, tastes like victory, so.
That's the form military folks get when discharged after faithful service. Phil and Jen even keep the missing soldiers' white table up year-round to honor those who never came home. Well, guys, this is an excellent way to start the day, so
Thank you.
cheers. Thank you all.
Cheers.
Y'all are doing great work out here in Helotes.
you.
I'm gonna finish this cream puff and then I'll take another one to go, if that's okay.
I love it.
Downtown Helotes is a special place, a quaint time capsule to an era long gone. It was settled by German and Mexican families in the 1850s and became a stop for stagecoaches and cattle drives headed to Bandera. And by far the most famous building down here is the iconic dance hall, John T. Floor Country Store. However, most don't know that its current building is not where it started. This building was the original Floor Country Store, but it wasn't yet a dance hall. No, that distinction belonged to this building right here known as Hillman Hall. It's where the townsfolk gathered to cut a rug and have a brew. This was the town's first general store, run by a man named Arnold Gugger, who lived in this old homestead, which is now the most historic bike shop in Texas. The Helotes Bike Shop, owned by longtime resident Hank Cunningham. So how long have you been here?
44 years.
44 years. This has got to be the only bike shop in Texas in an old 1800s homestead, huh?
1881.
Wow, that's amazing.
We lived here for 30 years.
Okay.
And next to Florist Country Store?
It's not bad.
Yeah.
It's some free concerts, right?
Exactly.
It does look like you got a few fixer-uppers over in this area over here.
Yeah, you don't want to throw them away. You don't want to ride them. So, and then sometimes somebody wants one so bad that you have to fix it.
You're like, oh, dang.
Off it goes.
Just like downtown Helotes, it's a collection of old things. But I guess when you get old enough, you become an icon, like the neighbor. And in 1952, this building right here became the historic John T. Flores Country Store. You guys are gonna have to sit tight a little bit on that one, but don't worry, we'll get here eventually. Did anybody hang on to one of those cream puffs?
I didn't have anywhere to put it. It was
That
like,
would hit different right now.
Yeah.
Dude,
I held on to my dreams.
I need.
how big was the big one, she said?
She said they make one that's like the size of a table.
I'd kind of want to use that as like a pillow when I go to sleep. I'd like have my hand under it and then just scoop it out.
Do you think you could ever eat in your sleep without knowing? Have you ever done that?
Oh, all the time.
Have you really?
Well, I used to make chocolate milk like every night.
Oh, wait, like sleepwalk chocolate
I would
milk?
sleepwalk to the kitchen and make chocolate milk.
Can you sleep at it, maybe? Could you try
Now,
that?
that would be nice.
Yeah, I was like,
Taking multitasking to the next level.
I don't know, that episode just felt a little sleepy. I better hold off on another puff, because we're headed to lunch and to enjoy some of the best Mexican food around all of San Antonio at local institution El Chaparral. Yeah, I can't say the number of people when I told them I was coming to Helotes, they said, oh, well, you're going to El Chap, right? Is that the...
See this? Yeah, the El Chap or
El Chap?
or Charlie's. My dad, the founder, they call him Charlie.
they're just
Charlie's or El
Charlie's.
Chap.
This is Carlos Garcia. His parents, Charlie and Mary, started El Chap in 1972 when it was just a tiny Mexican restaurant shoved in a house.
52 years ago, we lived here for 2 years, and that dining room over there was the living room.
No.
My sister lived in the living room, and my brother and I lived in the back with my parents in a little crib.
Oh my God.
This was an amazing place to grow up.
But Carlos and his twin brother Gabe were gifted beyond the restaurant and left Helotes to travel the world playing professional soccer. That is until the family business needed them back home.
Unfortunately, in 1996, my sister was killed in a car accident.
That's
Her name was
Jessica,
Jessica,
right?
yes. Needless to say, it was devastating to my mother and father. So that's when I called them up in 1997 and I said, hey, do you mind if I come back and get involved? And of course, my dad said, yeah, sure. So my twin brother, Gabe, and I, we run the day-to-day operations.
Next generation.
Yeah, the next generation. It's just deeply ingrained in my DNA, this restaurant. It's an amazing blessing to come in every single day, but it didn't come easy.
And nobody knows that better than Charlie himself, who at 87 years old still helps set the tone of hospitality, saying hola to every table.
And he's literally the face of El Chaparral, and they love him.
It's a tough job, huh?
Kiss babies and some ladies, you know.
You celebrated 50 years?
Oh yeah,
How hard has it been?
it was difficult. I felt like it was my last go around.
Oh,
I had to make it go.
Well, your last lap's turned into a pretty long lap.
It's been a long lap, man.
I'm gonna have to eat lunch in a little bit. What should I get?
I always recommend the highest thing on the menu.
Well, can't ask him. I'll decide after a closer look at the kitchen with Charlie's other son, Gabe.
Bienvenidos
Yeah.
a la cocina mexicana.
Now, did you learn Spanish back here like your brother?
We learned all the bad stuff.
Yeah. Ooh, homemade tortillas.
Obviously, every single day, fresh tortillas. As fresh as you get.
Hot. That's wonderful. It's just too good to keep all to myself. God, how many tortillas y'all make a day?
2,500 a day at least.
So this never cools off.
Always going. We have our homemade chili con carne here, which is one of the things that makes the El Chaparral so unique. This is very labor intense. We do have 13 different sauces, but this is our staple, chili con carne.
Okay, you grow up in this house, you eat this food every day, you become a professional athlete. There has to be a connection.
That's a really good thing. I suppose, not just one, two of us.
Well, there's something in the chili con carne.
We always say it's lard and love.
Lard and love will get you very far in life. I'm getting too hungry back here. So upon recommendation, not Charlie's, I decided to go with the Valerie Special. I also asked my buddy Gabe, who grew up in Helotes, to join me. All right, brother. You've only been telling me to come eat here for like a decade.
Yeah, yep, definitely.
What's the affinity for this place?
Well, you know what you're gonna get. You know how it's gonna taste. It's delicious. I grew up on this.
Oh, dude, that cheese enchilada is legit.
This is a rite of passage.
When you grew up in Helotes, did you feel like you were growing up in the country or in the city?
Oh, it was definitely country. All there was bluebonnet pastures, listening to Dwight Yoakam and Willie Nelson from John T. Ford's Country Store, going, man, one day that might be me out there.
Keep the dream alive, Gabe.
Yeah.
Keep the dream alive. Mexican food is so pervasive. You think in your brain, okay, I've had it all. And then you come here and you're like, oh gosh, this hits different.
Yeah.
These are the best beans ever. There's as much lard as there is bean.
There's a little pull of grease on there, but you're supposed to have that with Tex-Mex.
That's what it's supposed to be.
This is the spot.
Ain't no doubt, El Chap is Tex-Mex heaven.
We now interrupt this programming to remind you to like and subscribe. Now back to the road.
Speaking of heaven, Helotes sits at the gateway to the heavenly Texas Hill Country, a region known for its rugged limestone cliffs and rolling hills of mesquite and cedar. And neighborhoods are sprouting up out here faster than a hill country corn cob. That's not really a thing. But luckily, there are some spots so important they're set aside to stay forever wild. And one of those is the Government Canyon State Natural Area. Let's go on a hike with Park Superintendent Nick Malukas. I mean, I do love coming out here. It's huge, right?
Yeah, this place is enormous. It's 12,366 acres.
And basically right in the San Antonio city limits, am I right?
The whole thing. We are the largest urban karst preserve in the world that I know of.
You could get out in 12,000 acres, you can basically feel lost.
Absolutely, and that's one of the things we love about this place is you can have a wilderness experience in town.
Super unique.
Yes, sir.
Have you seen it all yet?
I've seen most of it.
Most of it, yeah. Government Canyon gets its name because the road we're hiking was once a military supply route to the western forts of Texas. But the reason such a large area is protected is even more important.
The reason that we were set aside in the first place is because right underneath our feet is the recharge zone for the Edwards Aquifer. You know, it's the main source of drinking water for all the people of San Antonio.
So if all this got developed, we'd be really up a creek without water.
Absolutely.
And while we can't really trip the aquifer, we do get to enjoy the surface and the wildlife.
We have white-tailed deer, people see raccoons, especially around the campground.
Sure.
Javelina, running around out here, quite a few.
Javelina?
Javelina, yeah, we're that close to South Texas. We've got turkey, and we're also in golden cheek warbler habitat. So,
oh yeah, how often do people actually see those?
The golden cheeks during the season, they come here to see them.
And it's kind of like a guarantee?
Not a guarantee, but if you get here early, you go to the right areas, absolutely.
Of course, you never know what you might see on the trail, but we're headed to see evidence of the animals that roamed here long ago. Hey, water?
Yeah.
Means y'all got some rain.
We got a lot of rain and we love it. We love it. It makes the treks harder to see though.
Oh, here they are.
Yeah, here they are. So this is the Acrocanthosaurus, the theropod, 3 toes.
So this is a carnivore, right? That's like our Texas T-Rex?
More or less. That's a great way to say it. Texas T-Rex, Acrocanthosaurus.
Bigger,
yes,
stronger, prouder, no doubt.
Well, you know, a little smaller, but definitely prouder.
No,
definitely prouder.
We don't have pictures it was bigger. At least 2-3 times bigger. By estimation, Acrocanthosaurus roamed Texas 100 million years ago. It was almost 40 feet long from nose to tail and big enough to take a Texas-sized bite out of anything.
I want to show you these tracks from a different perspective. They look really cool from right over here.
Okay. Oh, see, there you go. So these are clearly footsteps, like he's trucking that way to find a tasty meal.
Absolutely. Probably Whataburger or something.
Yeah,
Texas,
clearly.
right?
Texas dinosaur.
So that's the Acrocanthosaurus, our theropod. And right over this way, we have our sauropods, Sauroposeidon.
Sauroposeidon?
Sauroposeidon. It's a very easy word to say. It rolls off your tongue.
These guys were truly Texas-sized, with its head standing 30 feet higher than these cliffs. Okay, big flat foot.
Exactly. Think more like an elephant foot.
Oh, okay. Now, would this have been roaming the same time as the meat eater?
So this particular animal, no. If you'll notice, we're about a foot or more above. So geologically, this is a whole lot younger.
Oh.
A whole lot younger.
What a difference a foot makes when traveling through the epochs of time. Hey Nick, thanks for showing us Government Canyon, man. It's a very special place.
It is. I'm glad you came out. The more people that know about it, the more people will care about it, and then they'll want to protect it too.
That's right. Well, I guess now we gotta hike back.
Yes, sir. Let's
All
go.
right.
Okay, I heard somebody yesterday, they didn't say Helotes, they said Helotes.
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 So how do you say it?
As Texan as possible. Yeah.
So you gotta say Helotes.
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 Well, Helotes.
Helotes there.
Here's one. Luke, pronounce this word. B-E-X-A-R.
Bexar.
He ain't from around here, is he? No, but like, okay, it's the name of the county, and the appropriate pronunciation is Bear. Bear County. I don't know how that one got so hacked up. Because wouldn't it appropriately be like Behar?
Is it Spanish in origin?
I don't know. Man, if only I did research before these episodes.
I was gonna say.
So we've taken a leisurely stroll through the hill country. Let's crank up the speed a bit, shall we? As we head to the Helotes Hill Country Zip Lines. This is co-owner Rodney Modla, who runs this business on the ranch his family has owned since 1955. Tell me a little bit about what we can expect today.
Okay, so today we're going to run a total of 10 lines.
All right.
They're going to range anywhere from 100 feet to 1,000, which is our line 9.
1,000 feet?
1,000 feet.
Impressive.
That's our premier line. You're going to be at about height of 110, travel anywhere from 15 to 40 miles an hour, depending on how well you ride.
Or how much Mexican food I had for lunch,
Well,
so I
yeah.
get a little heavier.
Yep, the heavier, the faster you go. So
Okay.
we're going to fly.
Well, let's hit the course, man.
Let's go.
But to come down, we must first go up. And after a short bus ride to the top, these views are incredible. On a clear day, you can even see downtown San Antone.
Chet, you ready for this?
I think so. This is our lead guide, Michelle Modla.
The louder you scream, Chet, the faster you go, okay?
Okay.
There we go.
Yes! Here we go. Greg! Premature braking, brother. And now that we got those first line jitters out of the way, it's smooth zipping from here. Michelle, were you hooked the first time you ziplined?
Yes.
What was it about it?
Just the adrenaline. I mean, a little nervous. I prayed. I'm not gonna lie, I prayed on every line. Then after I got familiar with the harnesses and what they weigh, what the cable weighs, I felt more comfortable. I got it.
These are some of those bucket list things for people, right?
Absolutely, yes.
I love it. Like, it's adrenaline pumping, but it's also kind of peaceful. Like in middle of the line, you get that moment of zen. You're just flying. Oh, man! All right, Michelle, this is the big dog, huh?
It is. Line 9, 1,000 feet long.
What's the top speed here?
You can probably hit 40 miles an hour.
I hope this baby works.
Yep, there you go.
Yeah! Clear?
You're clear.
All right.
You ready?
Viva Helotes! Yeah! There's just something about this sport that never gets old and makes all of us feel young again. Maybe a little too young. All right, I have no idea why Greg was motivated to do this, but he is trying to self-rescue.
He's gonna burn out.
He's going too
Real
fast.
quick. He's gonna burn out fast.
Too fast. One at a time, just slowly grind it. Believe in yourself, Greg, believe!
Yeah.
Oh! Greg! In all honesty, none of us were even brave enough to try, so. Oh man, it does not matter how many times we go ziplining, it is always a rush. If you've never gone ziplining, this would be the perfect place to go. The hills are beautiful, and the lines, they're fast. All right, so we've been teasing it all day long, but with the sun starting to set, it's finally time to head to the hero of Helotes, the John T. Floor Country Store. If there was a Mount Rushmore of Texas dance halls, this near-mythic venue would be on it. The walls stand as a memorial to all the greats of country music who've graced this very stage. And the ceiling is a memorial to all the people who danced so hard they scooted right out of their boots. And for a lesson on Floor's long, storied past, we're gonna sit with venue manager Daniel Rosen.
Daniel, this is awesome.
Yeah?
So where exactly are we?
So we're in the kind of backstage green room area that at one time is where John T. Floor lived.
No kidding.
Yeah. I guess he wanted to save money, so he built himself a little room back here.
That's a man committed to his work.
John T. stood 6'5" and wore thick, bottle-rimmed glasses. A true Texas entrepreneur. After years of managing the Majestic Theater in downtown San Antonio, he moved to Helotes to open a grocery store. And that's when another opportunity presented itself.
There's actually another little dance hall down the road, and he saw all the foot traffic of people going to this little dance hall, and he's like, I can do better than that. So he just bought some land, you know, and decided that he was gonna build himself a country store, dance hall, beer joint, place to eat and have fun. So pretty early on, I mean, he was booking Ernest Tubb and Bob Wills and Ray Price and all those kind of classic
legends,
country,
man.
yeah, from that era. So I think pretty quickly it got a little bit of a name for itself.
By the 1970s, John had forged a deep friendship with a certain hippie cowboy and booked a standing gig.
Him and Willie were good friends.
The sign out there says Willie every Saturday night.
When he was doing that, that's when he was living out in Bandera.
So he literally played every week?
It might have been every month. But.
Okay, yeah. Look, it sounds like John was a good marketer.
It was on this stage where the legend we know as Shotgun Willie was born. And over the next few decades, everybody who's anybody in country music has played Floors.
There's Merle, there's Pat Green, Charlie Robinson, like Waylon Jennings.
Casey Musgraves, too. Before my time, too, apparently she opened for Willie one time.
They share a lot in common.
Yeah.
Probably, including their pregame ritual, I imagine. Yeah.
They have some hobbies that are similar. That's the truth. The cool thing about this place is you get to watch them grow sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, we'll book them in the indoor stage for 100 people, and then a year later it'll be 500 people. And then they'll sell 1,000 tickets outside. Before you know it, they're in.
They outgrow.
So you get to watch it happen, which is cool.
Both Parker McCollum and Cody Johnson played Floors to small crowds of 100 or so. And on any given night, you might be seeing country music's next big star.
Place makes a lot of dreams come true.
Yeah.
It's hallowed ground, man.
Yeah. Kind of like a heartbeat of the city. Yeah. You know?
More than just the heartbeat of Helotes, Floors is the living embodiment of the Texas honky-tonk. And the sign outside may be a little off about Willie, but it is 100% true about Floors' world-famous tamales, and I am all about tasting history.
All right, so anytime you're seeing a show at John T. Floors, you gotta get here just a little early to have yourself some Texas tamales. It's just what you do. This is fine Texas caviar and champagne of the John T. Floors variety. Oh, good. A little salsa verde for it. You know, the same family that was making these when this store opened is still making them today. Don't get much more Texan than that right there. Give me enough of these and I might grab a guitar and start playing in a second, all right?
Probably should take them away then, I'm just saying.
As the night moves on, the griddle speeds up, and the crowd builds in anticipation for tonight's headliner, Mike Ryan. I got to catch up with Mike briefly before the show.
You're playing tonight, John T. Floors Country Store. What's that mean to you?
Man, being from San Antonio, seeing tons of shows, I mean, Ragweed, Robert Earl Keen. When I was first learning how to play guitar, those were like my kind of heroes.
Yeah.
It all kind of started here for me. This place is like about as special or hallowed ground as it gets. It's just been rare energy. Some of the best crowds we've played for have been right here.
Hello, Tez. It's time to say goodbye. From your hills to your honky-tonks, and from your creamy puffs to your dino bluffs, I hope you never change. I'm sorry if that sounds corny. I mean, it's literally your name.
Well, what do you know? I finally found some elote in Helotes. So I'll see all y'all out on the road. Vaya con Dios, amigos. Oh, that's good. All right, band's still on. I'm gonna go back in.
Howdy, y'all. Follow along with my adventures at Tripper on Instagram and at the Daytripper TV on Facebook and YouTube. Or head to thedaytripper.com for travel guides, past episodes, and info on our mobile app and Team Daytripper. This episode was made for y'all with the help of our awesome partners. Check the caption for more info. Howdy, y'all. Chet the Daytripper here. Thanks so much for tripping with us. Remember, while you're here, like this video, subscribe to our channel so that we can stay out there on the road and keep on tripping. Did we miss anything in this town? Leave us a comment, let us know. We love finding out about new stops with all of your tips. And if you love Epic Texas Day Trips, remember to check our channel. We got a lot of them on there. Also, don't forget, if you want some sweet Daytripper merch or another cool Texas-made product, come see us in Georgetown at the Daytripper World Headquarters. You can also shop online if you check the link down there in the caption. All right, y'all. Bye con Dios, amigos.